You're welcome to my channel. This is Word for Word Talk. I hope you're having a wonderful day wherever you're watching me from. Please, if you have not subscribed to my channel, do subscribe, like, share, click the notification buttons when we're on. You will be notified. Today, I just want to share this video with you, and my thoughts regarding the video is to do with Harry and Meghan. I will say maybe this is my part 2 of it. Meghan has not been to the UK for over a year now. And they're making comments like, Harry comes to the UK, she won't come. What's the problem? Why isn't she willing to come? Maybe because of her interview with Oprah has affected the relationship and all of that. I just think sometimes they seem to forget so quickly, you know, so quickly what has happened in the past. And it has not been rectified for them to say, okay, we've done our part, so it's on your side. They seem to blame Meghan for what is going on with her. She not being welcome in the UK. Not the most people, but the tabloids had been the problem for her and Harry. When she got there first, it was like, okay, you know, at a point they begin to dig on her. She's this, she's from here. She doesn't look like this, she doesn't look like that. And compare her child with Monkey and all of that stuff. Who will want to face that? Who will want to come? How do I bring my children to that environment? Before one of them, the first child was born, you already have compared him to, I think, to a monkey or chimpanzee. So now they are here, they're growing, then I take those children to that same environment. What if they have to do the same thing, compare them to chimpanzee? And then when they grow up, it's all in the internet. It's everywhere, and they see, and they affect them because that's how they perceive the father's side of the family. It doesn't look good, and it won't look good on them either. You know, so when I saw this video, I'm thinking, because they're trying to say, well, it was because of the interview, maybe that's why, blah, blah. It has nothing to do with Oprah interview or none of that, or their Netflix or their book. It has to do with what happened before they left. What happened before they left? What did she do that warrant those tabloids and those coverage of her and different coverage of Kate Middleton? I'm not saying you should compare both of them anyway. They should allow them to grow together, be friends, and mind their own business at the same time, because it's two different families. But before that, they traveled to, I think, one of the Caribbean islands, and she was so welcome. I could remember seeing a video of Piers Morgan saying, well, they're taking over, you know, they're now more like than the heir to the throne. So that was, I mean, that has been the perception, you know, that has been the problem. That they were liked. I think, according to one of them, said when the Queen was alive, she was in about one life. Then among the royal family, I believe. Then Harry was next. That was even before Meghan came into the scene. So when she came, it was like, oh wow, she pulled all that culture into it. But they didn't like that. The problem was that they were taking the limelight from Prince William and Kate. That's it for me. So you watch this video, let me know what you think.
Married the man of her dreams, became a princess back in 2018 on a glorious day. But since then, we've had Megxit, a rift with the royal family, and of course all those legal battles against the press.
And now Prince Harry is due to return to the UK next week. Meghan will not be coming with him. In fact, she last set foot in the UK over 18 months ago for the Queen's funeral. So, whose fault is it that Meghan is not coming to Britain?
Well, the former royal editor of The Sun, Duncan Larkham, he says it's all her fault. She's made herself unwelcome. She's reaping what she sowed. But broadcaster Atajul thinks that the tabloid press are to blame. That old sort. I mean, she did invite a great deal of opprobrium by doing that interview with Oprah, didn't she?
Before Oprah, she has been absolutely savaged in this country. I completely support her. My heart's a little bit broken. It could have been a new era for the royal family, having someone who looks like my mixed heritage children. But she has been completely savage for nothing. And what is her crime? Has she been partying with convicted paedophiles? What has she actually done, apart from being a little bit ungrateful, which I think is her real crime?
So you don't blame her for not coming. Do you think it's a conscious choice? She does not want to come to Britain because she feels she'd be torn apart again by the tabloid press.
This is someone who has said that she has been suicidal. She reached out for help. She was not helped. It is about protecting her mental health. We've all been there, having to go to a family function or your in-laws and you don't fancy it, and I say run.
Duncan Larkham.
Yes.
You used to be royal editor of The Sun.
Yeah.
It's the tabloids would have done it.
Utter nonsense, I'm afraid. Yeah, when Meghan turned up on the scene, it was a breath of fresh air. It was the Markle sparkle. The way it was reported was entirely positive. Harry, at the time,
that's how I remember it too.
And Harry was one of the most popular members of the royal family, second only to his grandmother. And now within 3 years, effectively, in those opinion polls, they're second in the bottom, only above Prince Andrew.
Is that right to say that the abuse of Meghan in the papers began before the Oprah interview?
What abuse? What abuse?
She's often described as descendant of a slave. I've never heard anyone described like that.
When was she described that? In what newspaper? It wasn't a newspaper that did it. And Harry and Meghan have made that narrative that they were treated badly by the press, and they were not.
I'll DM you. But it's in black and white. It's there. The way she's been treated, the way she was, she's from Compton, all of this nonsense. She's a really well-educated, Ivy League, independent, financially independent, successful person who was doing a lot of charity and purposeful things.
She's very independent. She's broken off from her entire family, and now Harry's broken off from his entire family.
Genuinely, truthfully, if Meghan came with Prince Harry, how do you honestly think the tabloids would treat her? Right now?
Well, it depends what she said and what she did. I think,
but you don't seem to be saying... You have already condemned her. You've said that actually she deserved what she got. She was treated badly because of what she did.
I'm not sure I said that.
Your colleagues in the tabloids are not going to be fair towards her or even encouraging and welcoming, are they?
Well, I just don't think that the news works like that. We can't confuse, and this is what's been a problem all along, is confused columnists writing their opinions to create debate in newspapers, but also social media, comments from readers. Yes, she's had horrific abuse on those platforms.
She has, yes.
And I've defended her for that. But to say that newspapers, particularly the British press, have just decided with this woman we're going to make her a public hate figure is not true.
Well, what do you think then? What we can agree on is that she's not popular in this country out there. If we did a poll on it now, it wouldn't be favourable. What's she done wrong?
Well, I think if you had to be her PR advisor and for her and Harry, and you said, right, you've had a good start here, let's see if we can make you as unpopular as possible. I don't know more that they could do to advise them. The way that they went off to America, the way that they, during COVID, when people were struggling, managed to cash in on the family silver, over $100 million, we're told, through deals. Then a book spare, the Oprah Winfrey, where they're accusing the royals for being racist. I mean, I don't need to reel off a whole list of things. It's probably easier to say
because there is no list. She's done nothing wrong. They had to do that because they had to pay for security. And wouldn't you do that to defend your family? You've been cut off.
If you attack your family,
so victims of people with toxic families can't speak out.
No, of course they can.
So never complain, never explain that kind of. We all know about mental health, about talking about these issues and discussing it. So are we going back to that old trope?
No, we're not. No, not at all.
But so do you think that they genuinely thought that what was written in Spare and what was said in the Oprah interview would not lead to the kind of breakup in the family that it did?
I think, coming from someone who has had toxic family and issues, I think it's right to talk about these things. This is how we move on as a society. They were estranged for a lot of reasons. I think they took themselves off, they removed themselves from their mental health. And this is how we move forward, by having discussions.